There's something about a vintage rustic bathroom that feels so effortlessly charming and timeless. It's that perfect blend of old world character and cozy comfort that makes the space feel warm, inviting, and full of personality. If you love the idea of stepping into a bathroom that feels like a cozy retreat in a countryside cottage or an old farmhouse with a story to tell, then vintage rustic style is definitely for you. The beauty of a vintage rustic bathroom is that it doesn't have to feel overly designed or forced. It's all about embracing natural materials, weather finishes, and antique or vintage-inspired elements that make the space feel like it's been lived in and loved for generations. Reclaimed wood is one of the easiest ways to bring that rustic charm into the bathroom. Whether it's a wood vanity, exposed beams, or even a wood-paneled wall, there's something about the texture and warmth of aged wood that instantly makes a space feel cozy and full of character. A weathered wooden ladder as a towel rack or floating shelves made from reclaimed wood can add that rustic touch without overwhelming the space. If you really want to embrace the vintage side of things, look for antique or vintage style fixtures. A clawfoot tub is the ultimate centerpiece for a vintage rustic bathroom with its elegant curves and timeless appeal. Paired with a classic faucet in an aged brass or oil-rubbed bronze finish, it becomes the kind of feature that immediately transports you to another time. Pedestal sinks and farmhouse-style vanities with ornate detailing can also add that old-world charm, especially when paired with vintage-inspired fixtures like cross-handle faucets or porcelain knobs. One of the easiest ways to set the tone for a vintage rustic bathroom is with the right color palette. Soft, muted tones like warm whites, creamy beiges, dusty blues, and sage greens can make the space feel light, airy, and a little bit nostalgic. If you love a more dramatic look, deeper hues like charcoal gray or a rich, moody navy can create a cozy and inviting feel. The key is keeping things earthy and natural, nothing too bright or modern looking. Another essential element of a vintage rustic bathroom is the use of classic tiles. Subway tiles with dark grout can add a timeless touch, especially when paired with vintage-style lighting and fixtures. Hexagonal floor tiles or penny tiles in soft neutrals can add just the right amount of old-school charm. If you're feeling adventurous, patterned and caustic tiles with intricate designs can make the space feel even more unique and special. The best part is that these elements all age beautifully, adding to that well-worn, lived-in look that makes vintage rustic bathrooms so appealing. Lighting plays a huge role in setting the mood, and vintage-inspired lighting fixtures can make all the difference. Sconces with Edison bulbs, lantern-style fixtures, or even an ornate chandelier can bring that nostalgic feel into the space. If you have a vanity, wall-mounted sconces with a soft, warm glow can create that perfect old-world ambience. It's all about finding lighting that feels like it belongs in a different era while still providing the functionality needed for a bathroom. When it comes to decor, it's all about layering textures and pieces that feel personal and storied. Woven baskets for storage, vintage mirrors with distressed frames, and antique-style wall art can all add character without feeling overdone. A beautiful ornate mirror, whether it's gold-framed, distressed wood, or wrought iron, can act as a statement piece that ties the whole space together. Vintage apothecary jars, glass bottles, or even an old wooden crate repurposed as a shelf can add that extra bit of charm. And don't forget about textiles. Linen or waffle weave shower curtains, hand knit or fringed towels, and a well-worn rug with a faded pattern can all contribute to that cozy, well-loved aesthetic. Hardware and metal finishes are another small but impactful detail that can bring the whole vintage rustic look together. Instead of shiny chrome, opt for aged brass, oil-rubbed bronze, or even matte black for faucets, drawer pulls, and towel bars. These finishes have that slightly aged look that feels like they've been there for years, making the space feel more authentic. Bringing in greenery is always a good idea, and vintage rustic bathrooms are no exception. A few potted plants, a trailing ivy on a shelf, or even dried flowers in an old ceramic vase can breathe life into the space and add that natural, effortless charm. Herbs like lavender or eucalyptus not only look beautiful, but can also make the bathroom smell incredible. Hanging bundles of dried lavender or eucalyptus in the shower can create a spa-like experience while keeping with the rustic theme. If you want to take the vintage rustic theme even further, consider incorporating unique salvage or repurposed elements. An old dresser can be transformed into a stunning vanity with a vessel sink on top. A vintage wooden ladder can be repurposed as a towel rack, and an old barn door on a sliding track can replace a standard bathroom door for an extra rustic touch. Even an old window frame with a distressed finish can be turned into wall decor or a unique mirror frame. Ultimately, a vintage rustic bathroom should feel like a retreat, a space that's both functional and beautiful, filled with details that make it feel warm and inviting. Whether you go all out with antique fixtures and reclaimed wood or just add small rustic touches through decor and finishes, it's about creating a space that feels like home. The charm of a vintage rustic bathroom comes from its imperfections, its textures, and its timeless appeal, and that's what makes it so special.